But just minutes before the start of the funeral, as we've been reporting, a brief meeting was held inside St. Peter's Basilica by President Trump of the US and President Zelensky of Ukraine. It was their first face-to-face discussion since that angry exchange in the Oval Office. Well, let's cross live and speak to the World News correspondent Joe Inwood. And Joe, tell me a bit more about what we found out about how that meeting went between the two men. I expect it didn't last very long.
It didn't last very long, but it was certainly a lot better tempered, a lot more cordial than the last time they met. You'll remember, of course, that terrible bust-up in the White House. What we do have from President Zelensky is his version of events on social media. He posted, "We discussed a lot one-on-one, hoping for results on everything we covered, protecting the lives of our people, full and unconditional ceasefire." And the phrase he used is that it has the potential to be historic. Of course, today wasn't a day for politics. This wasn't what it was about. But obviously, when the two men met, the opportunity couldn't be passed up. Now, this is all in the context, of course, of the ongoing attempts by the American government to get at some sort of ceasefire deal. Some see pressure the Ukrainians into some sort of deal that would see them giving up territory to Russia. Now, just a couple of days ago, in fact, just yesterday, I believe, we had President Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, in Moscow to speak to Vladimir Putin. There was suggestion that they're not far from a deal. So it is possible something was discussed here, something came out of this that really, if it shifted President Trump's thinking, because I think it's unlikely it would have shifted President Zelensky's necessarily on the idea of giving up territory. But if someone has moved their positions, then it really would be a fitting event to have taken place at the funeral of Pope Francis, a man who spoke about peace his entire life.